Very much with you all.
Yes. Can we please get the introduction of?
Of the last but not the least, Chandar Shekharr ji, I would be more than happy to go ahead and introduce him to all of us. He is a manufacturing process enhancer and a passionate trainer. He conducts result-oriented programs on life skills and best manufacturing practices. With nearly 3 decades of work experience on Gemba shop floor, he brings a considerable difference in the performance of the workforce. He is extremely passionate about the preventive management approach. He considers human life very precious and gives great importance to safety in the work area. His core value is the empathetic approach brews success. So over to you, Mr. Chandar Shekharr ji, and go ahead and enlighten us before we go to sleep.
I don't think so. From morning we have been charged, we have been given strength, we have been given love and so much enlightenment. I don't think so. I am ready to sleep for another 24 hours. That was the impact what I had today. Believe me, I have never, in the recent time, I have never been up so long. And Kushalji knows about that now. Before I start, my gratitude to all and each and everyone, whoever who has spoken from the morning, and all those people who have watched us in the YouTube channel. This itself shows that we are thinking of transforming ourselves. Even if in this today's 18-hour session, if we have made an impact on one individual, and if that one individual has transformed, we have moved the earth. That is much of energy has been spent. Now, let me, before I start telling about my program or about what I'm going to speak today, let me see how I saw this today. Today, the day began with health. There was a focus. There was a focus on your body, your breathing, your yogasana. Then we went to spirituality, where we learned that nature is having lot of things in abundance. And Tasleen madam said that if you are able to focus that and see that, the whole nature will pour all the good things into that and it can get transformed. Then we had a relationship period where everybody talked about self-love, given importance to self-love. Here we should understand self-love is caring for ourselves first before we are able to care for that. I used to remember whenever we used to travel by flight, the air hostess would announce, we read most of the things, we understood most of the things, and one of them is that we should understand the process what we do. Even this program what we are conducting, there was a process, and each and every one over a period of time underwent that and they understood. So each and every one of us are the leaders. Then in the finance, we got a caution that we should know that there is one source is not as sufficient. We should have multi-source of incomes. Then the business session. As such, it has been a very hectic and major portion was conducted in the business course. And my take-home point was that trained talent is unbeatable. You must have a guru in your life and you must ask to solve a problem. That means to say you must go to the root cause of the problem. Yes, to achieve all these things, we must have some tools and techniques. And we must know what is the process and we must know how to do. Today, I am going to combine all this knowledge into improving our business process and see how we can bring about the change in the business. we can see how we can bring about the change in this, and we can find out what are the things necessary. Sorry, something happened wrong. Yes, what are the things which are very much essential for us to proceed further, or how do we get that skills in that? Now, here I am saying that I'm going to introduce to you all the business process enhancement by adopting the lean principle. The lean principle is most popularly used and most easily adoptable. Now, before going into the process, let us understand what is our business model. Yes, for any business, we have 5 important ingredients. Now, let us see what are the 5 important ingredients which are there in this. Now, the first is the money, the second is the machine, the third is the material, the fourth is your manpower, the fifth is your method. Here I would like to just take you out from here, and I would like to give you an example of a beautiful dish which is cooked in your kitchen. For the dish to be cooked, you put more ingredients, but ingredients doesn't transform into a dish. There is a process and there is a fire below. Every ingredient, when you add to that, that should be put at a proper temperature, proper things. Like this, in our business, we get money. Money is not a problem. You can get money for your business. With that money, you can buy machines, and you can also get in the material. But to convert your money back to money after investing, you require man and method. Believe me, my 3 decades of experience says that man is highly volatile person, and he controls the method how it goes. Why I say it's a highly volatile person, man, is because he reaction changes based on the timeline and the season and everything. Hence, this is more important. We have to, if we are able to understand so much, and if we are able to understand what the man is capable of, or is can do that, we will be able to go further. Now, further we go. We said lean. We said we are going to talk about a principle which is going to enhance our process. Now, what is that principle? I said lean is the principle. Now, lean, what does it say? Lean says it is a journey. Lean is not a destination, but it is a journey which is collectively embarked by a collaborative team. It is not a team. It is a collaborative team to improve your performance and systematically reduce variations and remove the waste in your process. Please understand, it is a collaborative team. It means to say that each and every individual has to come together, has to work for a common cause, has to work for a common goal, fulfilling his own personal goal. He has to align his goal to the company's goal. Then only it will be a collaborative team. And you should think of improving the performance. Like just now, a doctor was telling that we should be we should mitigate the risk. We should know what it is, but we should also know how to increase, how to come out of that risk and do that. And there are lot of variations happen, and all these variations we need to remove, and we need to remove the waste completely from the system. Now, let us go in detail about what each and every performance parameter can help us in taking the lean journey. Now, collaborative team. I'm sure here most of us are entrepreneurs, but most of us started our career by working for somebody. If we know why we left that organization, if we know why we came out and did this industry, then we will be able to understand what my team requires. My team requires the respect, and it requires the empowering. You should be able to empower them, and you should be able to get the required result. An empowered a person will definitely contribute more to the organization. Then we must have the trust. Trust is the most important thing, where the trust is defined by the boundaries. It is defined by the how much belief he can be, how much he can be understood very clearly. And we must be able to give encouragement to our team, encouragement in all sense. You must give them opportunity to improve, and you must support their ideas. Hence, then only a team can become a collaborative. Last but not the least, we must have a best communication possibilities in the organization. Most of the organizations fail not because of any other thing, but if you go to the root cause, it is the communication which is spoiling. Of course, big analysis are there for pointing out to other things, but the root cause is the communication. The data collection has not been done because what data has to be collected is not informed. How data is to be collected is not informed, and how to analyze that data is not informed. That results in a failure of an industry. Hence, communication becomes major importance, and each and every person in the organization has to be told about the vision and mission of the organization. Once you are able to communicate to the grassroots level, you can expect them to work and give returns to the organization for the growth of organization. Hence, a collaborative team, not a team, but a collaborative team, which is more effective and will help us in the organization to sustain in the future. Then we talked about performance improvement. All the evening we heard the customer is first. We must work towards the customer delight. Now, when I say customer delight, customer is first, customer is God. There are two segments which we have to understand. That is, customer. When we say we are customer oriented, there is one is servicing the customer and one is selling the customer. When we say servicing the customer, we always say that it's a repetitive order. How you fulfill the repetitive orders are most important. But when we say sell, we mean to say that sell our process for the customer so that his problems are reduced. So they are two different, and we must always concentrate on both the things to achieve the customer delight. And how will you be able to achieve the customer delight? You must strategize your things. You must have a strategy defined as to how you will optimally utilize all the resources at your hand to fulfill the customer's need. Having said that strategy, you also need creativity. Without creativity, things cannot work. Now, if you have made an observation, you may be supplying a similar industry. There is a garment industry, and there are many garment industry which produce the same thing. But there is a method which is adopted in that industry, which keeps it apart, which keeps it outside the generic terms. So you must have creativity, and the creativity will only give you the strength to sustain in the market and improve your performance. You must be growth oriented. How will you be growth oriented? You must monitor your performance. Always you must be monitoring your performance. And there is a very famous saying, things which can be measured can be controlled, and things which can be controlled can be improved, and improvement is nothing but growth. And for how do you control things? How do you do that? You must have the visual data. You must have all the key performance data at your near you, so that you can visualize that and you can take action. And most importantly, you must be able to analyze. Then you are able to analyze the data, and you are able to creatively strategize your growth towards customer delight. Your performance improvement can happen. Then we have process variation. We need to reduce our process variation throughout the system. Now, what are these process variation? Why does it come? The process variation comes due to poor product design. When we say poor product design, the product is designed with, there is a lot of process happening. So we need to reduce non-value added steps in every process, so that the product becomes very, very clean and clear. Then again, we have a poor process design, wherein you can have to reduce the special and common causes of variations where the product can be made good. You have untrained manpower. Improve peer learning. You can always ask the individual people to support the neighboring worker. So what happens? They learn very fast. They learn the trick of the trade when you make a peer learning a habit, a culture in your organization. Thereby, you will reduce the variations which the untrained manpower is giving out. Now, in making an environmental parameters, you have to measure the environmental parameters. Now, I will give an example. If your digital temperature meter is defective, your product, if you are doing a heat treatment process for that, it goes out. If you are measuring a thermometer for measuring a person temperature, what happens? If it's wrongly given, it takes a wrong diagnosis and it can cause harm to the thing. Hence, you must control all this process by improving the measurement system in the organization. Now, last but not the least thing is elimination of waste. Now, we will see what are the 7 process waste which are there in the thing. This is a 7 process waste which is directly taken from Toyota production system, and believe me, I have implemented in this shop floor. This is a shop floor of an automobile assembly line, which is that you can definitely sleep here. Though it is not a sleeping place, but it is so spick and clean that any small dirt lying on the floor will be highlighted, so that immediate attention can be done. This is how a shop floor should be. Now, this we will see what are the process waste which are there in the system. Now, the first is the transportation. Now, when we say a transportation, the transportation can be either internal transportation or external transportation. Here we are able to see some of the overhead cranes which are carrying the chassis. These are designed. They should be designed optimally, that the material is not wasted and the power required to transfer this one fixture to the other place station should not be high. We should work out that if we are able to identify, measure, control, then we are in the transportation, we are able to save nearly 20% of our wastages which are going in that. The wastages in form of time, in form of manpower, in form of money can be saved. The next thing is inventory. Inventory is a system, is a crime which happens in any organization. Inventory leads to lots of problems like pilferages, lots of problems like wastage is happening due to stock loss, expiry dates, and many things. Hence, we always categorize our waste as red, gray, and green. Red is the inventory which is obsolete. Obsolete material, there is no problem. There is no problem in disposing it off and saving on the inventory, because inventory comes at an additional cost. When you increase the inventory, you increase the money block, and the money, if it is taken from an intermediary, it comes with his stepbrother called as interest. So we must be very careful. that in red inventory must be eliminated from the system. The gray inventory is nothing but which is in the pipeline or WIP. We must ensure that we adopt principles which reduces the gray inventory in the line. Green inventories are the inventories which are considered in the process as positive inventory, because that helps us in supplying to the customer for a minimum agreed days. Then we have motion. You have seen how many people are working in this photograph. Hardly few people, but they are able, their contribution is so huge. They are not unnecessarily moving, unnecessarily going there. Everybody has a station to work at. We have seen in many industries that the man keep moving here and there. There is a machine which runs idle, which is running. Over capacity machines are being used, or the oversized tools are being used to do a small job. Hence, if we are able to identify the motion which is excess to our required thing, we will be able to save nearly 10 to 15% on the loss which is happening. Then the most worrisome is waiting. Even we don't like to wait in the railway station. We want to rush from our home and stand in the platform, and as soon as the train comes, we have to rush and sit inside, and we become restless when it just goes. Similar way, in industry, the waiting for material, either for processing, inspection, or packing, results in wastage. Wastage of the inventory, wastage of the product, wastage of the manpower, or mix-up of, which leads to a source of your rejections. Then we have overproduction happening. Usually, production managers think that producing more to reduce setup time or increasing OEE is the right methodology, but they seldom look into the factor that you cannot overproduce just because your machinery will become idle or just because you have a material. There must be somebody who is buying that. There must be some order which is there. Many times the planning people also make a mistake and they give a wrong planning to the production team, which results in overproduction. Wrong schedule given by the customer or untimely schedule which creates an overproduced component in the organization. Overprocessing is another major waste which is identified in the system, and here what the source of problem is exactly the communication which we discussed earlier. Apart from this, the understanding of customer perceived quality makes a basis for overprocessing. A customer need not have a painting done at a non-aesthetic area, but if we do a painting and non-aesthetic area and we do the polishing, the cost will increase, but the cost cannot be recovered from any source. So unnecessarily we are processing the product and we are able to do nothing on that. Hence, that will be a problem which will add and it will increase. So identifying all these things, over processing things, and if we reduce it, we will be definitely saving a lot on our money and the cost. Defects. Defects arise due to production, process, mix-up, improper inspection. These defects are there. Any manufacturing process, I am sure that defects do come, but the skill in identifying the defect at the source and eliminating it for further process, stopping it from moving to the next station is most effective things, most time saving thing which will be there. In this, you will be able to save the manpower, you will be able to save the material cost, and you will be able to reprocess the parts which are identified in the initial stage only. So, friends, till now we have seen all the 4 parameters: a collaborative team, wherein we say that we should have an empathy towards the approach to the team. Then process reduction, process improvement, where we have to see, we have done about that, where we have to focus on the customer and the method of focusing to the customer and always have a data with us. Then we have variations, reducing the variations in the system, which is an output for, which is a reason for most of the rejections or other things. We have to identify them and we have to reduce them. Then the last but not the least, these 7 process waste, if we are able to identify, if we are able to measure, if we are able to control, we can make improvement. Friends, this is nothing but the lean journey which I was talking. It is time for all of us to for this to see that the lean train is waiting for us. It is for us now to embark on this train and progress towards our journey. I request everyone to take the first step today. And with this, I thank you for your valuable time, and this is my contact details where you can connect to me and we can collaborate for our future things. With this, I thank one and all for your valuable time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I think there was a fantastic journey you took us on, ending with the train journey. We're all ready to embark the Lean Express. All the 7 steps were extremely relevant to all the industries, and we'll make sure that we take these learnings and implement in our respective businesses. With that, thank you, sir. Thanks once again. Tasneem ma'am, would you like to add anything?
Too much. I'm actually going to, after this recording is given to me, I am going to take time, like it's 16 hours. I'm going to plan it out for myself in a week, where I'm going to give 2 hours each day for each of my like 2 or 3 speakers. I'm going to make my own notes and I'm going to use it in my life like nobody's business. So this is all free. This is my information. So I'm going to cherish it, relish it, enjoy it, and actually transform my life completely.
And also help others transform.
Yes.
Definitely. That is my passion that I otherwise will keep on doing.
Please make sure that you send a copy of the notes, ma'am. That will be very helpful.
No, I am so sorry. I will not do that. You help yourself if you love yourself.
Yes, self-help is the best. Perfect.
I think Krishna is a smart student, actually. He wants the ready notes, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not doing that for him. I am sorry.
That's okay.
He's Arjuna himself also,
you
sir.
must support such students, actually. So
He's
Krishna
also
is always like that.
He's also an Arjuna, sir, to the learning process.
Yes, it's a perfect combination,
Yes. I give advice to myself and then I listen to it. So yeah, so it's a complete package there. So with that, we've almost just 4 minutes away to hit that 18-hour mark, and we've come to the end of the program. I request Kushal sir to say a few words before we end the day 1 of this fantastic transformation that we're all been going through. Kushal sir?
Upto would be talking and he'll be sharing some memories as well. So I just told him, let's see if it is there. Otherwise, we'll play the video. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Sunil sir, are you playing a video for us?
I hope I did not exceed my time.
No, sir, you were on time.
We gave you all the time, sir. We did not monitor you.
The video?
Yeah. If you want, I will play. But sir, Chandar Shekharr, we did not monitor you only. We say we give you all the leeway. You can go ahead and give us all the information that you have.
Krishna was behind me to stop, but he ran short himself to stopping Chandar Shekharr. Good enough.
Yes.
This was a coordination between we MCs. We said, let Chandar Shekharr ji speak,
that is advantage of speaking the last.
Yes. And that is why I also chose the first slot, because it was the trial and error. I knew I would get my leverage. So I did that. And you did it last.
And I'm very happy to inform you that the section was started by one of my best friend, Mr. Rajesh Raut, today morning, and now I am ending this today's session.
Lovely.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, so before we hand it over to Sunil sir, I would like to thank the organizers. I mean, we've been part of this fantastic team, and we would love to thank them for the opportunity of bringing everyone together. We've received a lot of inspiration on effective transformation. Now it's time to process all this information and get a good night's sleep. And we have to make sure to dream, and our dream catchers will guide us tomorrow on how to make it a reality. So,
We cannot end this day without taking Sunil ji's and Milan ji's name.
yes, definitely.
Everybody has been thanking absolutely everybody. And Chandar Shekharr ji also we mentioned, Kushal ji also has been mentioned. Sunil and Milan sir, you both are doing a fab job. It is completely behind the curtains. No voice, no gestures, no body language. You are not there on the screen. But you definitely, we understand that you all are the biggest support that Kushal ji has and Chandar Shekharr ji has. So you four are just rocking, and you have made all of us also rock. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
And before you leave, we have already mailed to all the participants about tomorrow's schedule with all the speakers' name, what are the topics are there. So all exciting topics, all we have shared it with all the participants who have registered. And yes, looking forward for tomorrow morning 6 a.m. session again with all the audience and the speakers lined up. With this, Sunil would be playing the song before we end. Yeah, so over to Sunil.
And Sunil sir and Milind sir and Kushal sir, you all don't have to ask me whether I can give you all time. If it is required, please just give me a call and I shall be there.
Sure.
Just for tomorrow's day also.
Thank you, Tasneem, for extended arm. We are truly dependent on all you and everyone else. So thank you everyone for supporting throughout the day. And it was like no one. It was a wonderful experience to work with you all. Everyone was ready to support, and as I earlier also said that Tasneem is like a Duracell. Is never-ending battery. We expect the same energy tomorrow as well. Thank you.
Or it will be the same, sir.
So thank you all. Such an event is not possible without the support of the entire team. I think the entire team was so supportive. Like you just shout out for anything, and the help is all around.